We're going to be talking about an abundance mindset. That's actually the topic of the live stream tomorrow on Thursday at 8 p.m. if you're watching this afterwards or recorded. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about, give you kind of some interesting tidbits of what an abundance mindset or an abundant mindset entails. And the first thing that's about an abundance mindset is there's a difference between a person that's successful and a person that's not. And believe it or not, a successful person, more times or not, is going to be the person who envisions themselves operating in abundance. So whenever you have success, it's not something that's accidental. No matter what people say, there is, obviously right time, right place. But the key part that I want to talk about is if you want to have an abundant living life, you need to have an abundance mindset. And an abundance mindset allows you to perceive things as if they should be, even if they're not. And what does that mean? It means is that you don't look at your current circumstances as they are. What you do is you look at your current circumstances and say, this is a springboard into the future. Even if the current is difficult, maybe financially troubling, maybe you're dealing with health issues, all kinds of stuff. But at the end of the day, an abundant mindset looks at your current situation and says, I don't see with my natural eyes, I don't perceive with my natural ears, but rather an abundant mindset positions your heart and your mind to operate in abundance. And you start to think scale, you start to think, how can I refine processes? How can I be better? How can I do 1% better? How can I improve myself in a way that allows me to operate in abundant mindset? And when you start to think about that, you start to get dramatic improvement on your day, and you start to look and operate and feel and speak in ways that are very, very powerful, because you're not looking at a situation and saying, well, I don't have enough money to, hello, Swifty girl. You don't operate from the perspective of lack. You don't operate from the perspective of, oh, I don't have the right talent, I don't have the right team, I don't have the right product, I don't have the right services. An abundant mindset operates from the perspective of always having enough and being in a position to do more. It is about being successful in ways that others miss, because whenever you're operating from a perspective of lack, which really is the opposite of abundance, is lack is you find excuses. If you find yourself looking back to the past, looking towards the things or the mistakes of the past, I'm having a good day. Yes, I am. Hope you are too. And so the whole point of an abundant mindset allows a person to operate from a perspective of success at all times, not looking at the situation and saying, okay, this isn't a good day. Let me give you a perfect example of this. So we recently in our ministry launched a boatload of products, and so one of the things we were looking at is like, how do we increase our sales without increasing the time that goes into selling? So what we started to do was we started to think, okay, what's an abundant, successful business person do? Well, they do a lot of things with automation. They do a lot of things with ads. They do a lot of things with being able to scale and do the work that allows people to do well under short periods of time. And an abundant mindset allows you to find efficiencies and scale. And we started running ad campaigns, and we were getting like very slow traffic on our website, and now we're starting to see hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of views in our website from a scalability perspective, but it's automated almost end to end, so we're not actually involved. And hello, what is this? Hello, Emma, hope all is well. And so an abundant mindset operates from where you want to be and how you can go there versus why I'm not there and being stuck in the present. And that's a really important thing. And you can apply this mindset to any part of your life. You can apply it to your work. You can apply it to your family, your financial situation. You can apply it to any one thing in your life, because what happens is when you start to operate with abundance, the principles of how you think they change. How you operate change, because now there is no lack, it's opportunity. Everything you look at is how do you gain ground, and how do you take territory, and how do you do more. A perfect example is if you're in real estate. You would look at this opportunity and say, okay, how can I today, with high interest rates, buy houses to put them on rent? Well, it's actually pretty easy to do that, because what you would do is you would find opportunity to be able to get into places that are going to be a little lower cost, where you can charge a fair rent. And then, as long as you have equity in that house, what you can do is, guess what? You can just take that equity, get additional loans, and buy new homes for cash. And you start the cycle. So your second home is in cash. Guess what? Now you can borrow against that house and continue the process. If you are fortunate to have investors to support you with that, hey Stephanie, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to that, and so now all of a sudden you can take that and say, oh, I can get someone to come in as partner with me and get the first house. We then leverage that house to buy the second house. We leverage the second house to buy the third house, and so on. So you can now end up with 10, 12, 20 houses, renting them all out at all different stages of income and levels. And now you can scale literally overnight with nothing. That is an abundant mindset. It's an opportunity for you to see something and say, wow, this is not what I perceive, but I can make it this, because I can apply abundant principles in scaling and growth and operate in that kingdom mindset. And so now if you apply that to the kingdom and how God works and how God applies this, and how Jesus, who died on the cross, and because of his sacrifice, allows us to have access to the promises that Abraham got whenever he was about to sacrifice his son Isaac on Mount Moriah, you now start to realize, you're like, oh, okay, if I need wisdom, all I have to do is pray for it. If I need knowledge, all I have to do is ask. If I need someone to come and partner with me, all I have to do is ask God to prepare that partner and prepare me for that work ahead. And guess what happens? You can get employees, you can get co-workers, you can get partners, you can get all the people you need in order to be successful. If you don't know how to sell, you can ask God to send someone who can sell towards you, to work with you part-time, just to get you started, to train you, to do those things. An abundant mindset never looks for an excuse. What it does is it always looks for an answer in spite of the situation. And it's so important. And so, hey Max, how's it going? And so that's the aspect of an abundant mindset. Abundant mindsets operate from a point of success. And for some of you who just joined the live stream now, that's the essence of what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We have a bigger live stream Thursday at 8 o'clock at 8 p.m. Eastern. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about those key principles and how to scale yourself week over week, month over month, and allow you to receive all the things God has for you in this season and in next, and allow you to operate from that position of favor. And when you have this abundant mindset, you don't look at situations and say, well, I can't afford this. It's you say, I can, and I'll get it when God releases it. And so it is always about glory to faith to faith. It's no different than saying, hey, I have an existing car payment, I want to upgrade my car. And that abundant mindset allows you to shop the car and get the same value car with a lower interest rate, but then get into a luxury car. That's the essence of how an abundant mindset works. It looks at your current house and says, hey, I can sell it for this, or I can leave the house, rent, and now I can make additional $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and now I can afford a bigger house. And you continue the cycle. It applies to cars, it applies to houses, it applies to your work, it applies to your job, businesses. It applies to every part of your life, where you now can work and move forward in ways other people get afraid and get scared and get stuck. Now, it isn't a quick get-rich scheme by any means, no question about that, because it is something where you kind of have to learn the ropes and obviously the legal aspects, if you have to create businesses and taxing authorities and all those things to get you in place. But that's okay. It's not like you're in a rush anyway. And these are the things, this is an abundant mindset. An abundant mindset transforms a person in the way they think and how they operate to seek problems as actually they're just solutions. A problem to an entrepreneur is just a solution that hasn't been solved yet. That's it. That's all. Or in other words, a solution that hasn't been discovered. And so problems don't exist for entrepreneurs. Every problem is an opportunity for success. And that's the power of an abundant mindset. When you operate in abundance and you operate in that same framework, you can look at a situation that other people are downtrodden and struggling, maybe failing. Maybe it's a project at work. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have projects that are involved. You're involved and you have other projects. People that are successful look at failing projects as opportunities to not only right the ship, but make up ground because all the lessons that were learned along the way. Because if you hadn't embarked on a project, you would have not learned the mistakes. And guess what? Mistakes are obviously steps towards success, because those are things that you can learn and grow and continue to thrive with. And so I would definitely recommend, if you guys, once this live stream ends, share it with a friend and show them that your mindset and how you apply the abundant mindset to it will allow you to thrive and be successful and allow you to achieve something that you would otherwise not have, because you're looking at the problem as a problem and not a solution to be solved. And so when you look at that and it's a solution that hasn't got yet an answer, now you can move forward and operate in abundance in every single part of your life. And no problem becomes usurped. It's a matter of just whether or not you should tackle the problem at that time. And it becomes a time management thing at that point, because you can't do everything at once. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, and you got to have time to kind of chill out in a wonderful place like this. And you got to be able to break away at the end of the day and enjoy it. And if you can't break away, then what are you working for? Because if you can't enjoy the water, you can't enjoy the beaches, you can't enjoy your mountain hikes, your bike rides, your walks in the parks, your kids' time, all those things, well, guess what? Then it means you're really basically creating wealth for someone else to take later. So I hope this message blesses everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. We'll continue to pump out amazing content like this and be an amazing blessing. God bless.